Hey, how's it going everybody? In this video, I'm going to be going over my favorite fonts to use in 2022. The first font on my list this year is Nyberg. The sharp and bold serif font's free for commercial use and comes in all caps. The font works super well as a display typeface and has a lot of uniqueness with its sharp edges and contrasting angles. It also has multilingual support for Cyrillic and a ton of interesting alternative glyphs. I really like this font for adding a refined and different look from most traditional serif typefaces. If you are familiar with my channel, you may remember I used this font on the poster I designed in the Photoshop CS1 video. This font, Della Gothic, was a recent discovery for me and I love it. It's a sans serif that's free for commercial use and has some cool features to it. I found this on a site called Free Japanese Font. So like the site suggests, it supports Japanese characters. This provides for creating some cool combinations of the English and Japanese language. I used this font on my Silk Sonic redesign and it worked perfectly for the vertical obi strip typography. A friend of mine, Made by Motel, actually put me onto the Japanese type website and he did some awesome posters using those fonts. So shout out Motel and his awesome vintage horror posters. So I try to include at least one slab serif in all my font lists because I feel like they don't get enough love. Montague Slab is an awesome slab serif designed by the same foundry who made Space Grotesque. This font comes in a variety of weights, from thin to bold. It's inspired by nice vintage slab fonts like Clarendon and has some fun character to it. I really like the way the glyphs interact with each other in this font. It also looks really good in all caps. And there's a cool variable version you can download on the site that shows the full range of weight and thickness this font has to offer. This next font is a script font called Nautica. It is free with Adobe Fonts and has been one of my favorites lately. It comes in 3 weights, regular, medium, and bold. I also really like adding an even thicker stroke to it sometimes and it turns out pretty cool. This font is super versatile because the beautiful letters can be used as a decorative element or as full words. I really like how it looks here in this editorial design layout, showcasing the all caps letter forms. I think I found this font through Elliot Ohm on Instagram, who's been using it quite a bit. I recently thickened it up and made it more narrow for this Channel 5 poster, and I really like the outcome. Up next is this super cool sans serif from Collectivo Foundry called Apfel Grotesque. This font's special because it not only has a regular and bold version, but it has this Brucht version, which is made to be eco-friendly and use up less ink when printed. This font adds a nice twist to grotesque sans serifs, and it really seems fun to use. Here are some examples of the way the Brucht version was used. The holes allow for less ink to be used, but also still seem super legible. Not only does it work well in those experimental settings, but it's a super strong font for branding and stationery. I'm stoked to use this font more in 2022. Sinister is another font from Collectivo that I love so much. It's free for commercial use and both the lowercase and uppercase letters have so much character to them. This has to be one of my favorite letter A's ever. Sinister comes with a bunch of alternative glyphs and ligatures as well to get even more experimental. It looks great with effects added to it, and when paired with other fonts it can get quite interesting. I really like the way it's used on this Black Queer convention design. I recently used this typeface myself on a print called ICB. This poster was done in collaboration with this amazing 3D artist named Archfiend, so definitely go check out his work too. This next font is a display typeface called Guyon Gazebo that's free for personal use. This wavy font comes in both regular, all caps, and an italicized version. I think this font has some potential for adding a psychedelic vibe to your compositions. It also has multilingual support. I really like the ligatures it offers too, the way the S and the T beautifully connect, as well as its glyphs it has to offer. The ampersand on this font is definitely one of my favorites. Next up is HWT Atna, a serif font that's free with Adobe Fonts. This font has some regular versions as well, but I specifically use it for the extra condensed and double extra condensed versions. The font has some cool letter forms in all of its versions, and you can see here they interact super well together, but the reason I like the condensed versions though has been using them for poster designs. I recently used this font in my Grasp poster as well as the analog style poster that I made in a recent YouTube video. You can also add some bleed to the edges to really thicken the font up and give it a nice look. This next sharp serif font is called Auto Attack. It's free for commercial use and has some amazing contrasty letter forms. It also looks great in both lowercase and all caps. This font has a lot of potential for type and image layouts and offers some nice customability in its different letter forms. I also think it looks pretty good here used small and in combination with the clean sans serif font. Buffon is an awesome display font that's available for free or whatever price you can afford to pay. This font comes in a nice variety: thin, regular, bold, and heavy. Buffon is such a fun font and it can make for some awesome typography based designs. It also has some amazing glyphs and compares super well with other fonts like it is used here. I'm definitely keeping this font in mind for some future print projects. The last serif font on the list is this decorative one called Ilias. Ilias only comes in one version and is an all caps font, which makes it well suited for big headings. I really like the unique letter forms this font has. It makes designs feel very custom and high end. I think fonts like this have been very popular lately and will continue to be in branding and different niche marketing. I also think Ilias would work super well as a heading type on a website landing page. The last font we have on this list for 2022 is a sans serif called Project Blackbird. It's free for commercial use and has both lowercase and uppercase characters. This font was created custom for Blackbird Marketing Studio and is now released as an open source typeface. It looks super cool pairing this unique grotesque font with different old imagery. This font is super versatile and has some unique characters compared to a lot of grotesque sans serifs out there. Definitely go try it out and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out some more fonts, you can watch this video here or this video here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.